Hi, by the way. How are you? Good to see you.
How'd the second practice look for you?
A lot of great teachable moments. Awesome. It's great stuff. It's great to be in football in February. So, is it March 1st yet? Yeah. Is it March? Not yet. So, we got 2 practices in. We're out of our underwear. We get to go see if we can play football on Saturday. So, I'm looking forward to seeing that and just learning some more about the team.
Next year, with sort of seems like there's a lot of urgency with the whole 503, thing to sort of get some of those games back next year. Is that sort of why you started it this early? You're anxious to get going? Or?
Well, we can't get the games back. All right, what's done is done. What we have to learn from our previous experiences, and 10 of the games we played really well. We had people down, or we had to come back a little bit, and then once we had momentum, we were able to kind of choke that team out and put them away. And in 3 games, we weren't able to accomplish that. If we were able to accomplish that in those 3 games, like we did in the other 10, we'd have maybe a little different story. So you got to teach from that. You got to learn from it, and you got to look at all the variables of what happened. So out here, it's kind of more macro stuff. Like I was just talking to the team about, did you feel the momentum? Could you sense it? Okay, this is what we have to do in that situation defensively. This is what we have to do offensively if we don't have it. But then in the micro, when we get in the film room and we're doing some different things with our cut-ups and what we did well and what we executed well, or communication breakdown, or a missed tackle, or a missed throw, or misread, whatever it might be, those are little things that just really emphasizing we just have to do what we do. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to all of a sudden make up a 2-score deficit in one play. Little things like that. So with the amount of young guys that we have, I know it's a long answer to a short question, but that's what's the best part of spring. It really is. You can really just take the time to teach them, and that's why we moved it up, to answer your question. We moved it up to be able to maximize every stinking day the NCAA gives us to be able to teach. And so tomorrow is equally, if not more important than today, when we're in the classroom, when we're walking through, showing the guys exactly what we're talking about. We just went out and failed at it, a bunch of guys. Let's go watch it on video. Let's come back and walk through it again. Let's go out and execute it again, see if we can create the proper habit, whatever it might be. So that's why we did that. And then the back end, the guys that we have injured from the season, they'll be able to matriculate back with the team kind of that 3rd week of April. And then we'll really have a lot of time to be in the weight room together with that whole group. Right now they're doing rehab. So if we were just doing rehab and extended our winter, they wouldn't still be a part of the team. Now they're out of practice. You guys know what I'm talking about. They wouldn't be in pushing each other. And they will be once we go wheels up in the next phase after spring. So a lot went into the decision, but hopefully we'll get some benefits from it.
I feel like I ask you every spring, what are you hoping to accomplish with these practices, either teaching, developing, that kind of thing, evaluating?
Yeah, all of it, Chris, really, all of it. It's who are you? What do you do well? How much confidence and trust do you have in yourself? What do we see as coaches in you that we believe your strengths are? How can we then utilize those strengths? And then what are the areas that you need to improve on, and then create a plan and set some goals for the next phases, not only in the micro, again, I need to sound like a business guy, but, not between now and the end of the school year, but now to August. And how can we improve? So, again, a lot of stuff going on. It's a great time.
It's a learning time for you, too, though, right?
Huge.
About the players.
Huge.
And how they've changed over the winter.
Yeah, for the older guys, Skip, I know a lot.
Yeah.
For the Travion Henrys and for you look at those young guys up front. You look at some of the young linebackers like Eric Wilson and Jalen Prater and Joseph Jones. I can keep going, name. I'm getting my first snapshot of, here's our expectations. Can you get to the expectations? If you can't, why? Is it our teaching? Is it the way that you're executing? Is it the way that you're learning? Are you just not ready? Or do you need to get stronger? You need to get faster? You just need to be marinated in the scheme longer. Those are all the things we got to get evaluated, and then we can put the pieces of the puzzle together.
It seems to me, analogously, it's like you have a bunch of Legos on the table.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said yesterday. That's what I said yesterday about putting a puzzle together, right? We got a 110-piece puzzle with some of the pieces from last year that everybody can see gone. So there's going to be new people as those pieces. Just who are they and how do they fit, and do we have to rearrange them a little bit? We're 8 years into this now. Remember year 1 when you and I were talking? We're in a totally different place. So, how do you take that next step now? And, the culture's in place, the program's in place. We just continue to try to raise the bar internally. and continue to try to fit the pieces accordingly. And then our staff does a really good job. You guys have been around a lot. They do a really good job of matching what we do to what our personnel does. Square peg around hole.
What is that stability now? Same staff for the past 3 springs. What does that do for you guys in your preparations and in your teaching?
Well, I can do a lot more evaluating, and I don't have to do. I always have to coach the coaches. That never ends. But the guys know what I'm looking for, and when I say I mean the program. What is the program expectations? And so, I don't have to spend as much time in staff meetings talking about, hey, this is the way I want us to look. This is the way I want us to practice. This is what I mean when I say how we start and how we finish. All those things are in place. And, there's 2 programs in particular that this is how we buckle our helmets. This is how we tie our shoes. And that's just part of football. And we're a little bit in a different place. But you can't take that for granted and overlook the little things. And so that's kind of my heightened awareness right now is the little things. And so having a lot of fun doing it.